The gist of it is that this hearing is a public hearing that will be recorded. Anyone on this hearing who provides testimony or speaks understands they do not have a right to privacy. And at some point, this hearing, I believe, gets posted on the Tax Review Board phila.gov website for public use.
All right, thank you very much, Paula Weiss. I will turn now this over to our chairperson, Nancy, please.
Okay, thank you very much. Good afternoon, everyone. This is the Tax Review Board hearing for Tuesday. I have to think of the date, November 29th, 2022. The first thing we're going to do today is deal with a decision only from an earlier date. The petitioner in this matter, Victoria Stigum, last 4 digits of the docket on this case is 7970, and it's for 2329 Nicholas Street. I believe the petitioner is here. Are you on camera with us?
Yes.
Okay, please introduce yourself for the record.
Victoria Stidham, 2329 West Nicholas Street.
Thank you. We're not going to be asking you to testify, so I don't believe we need to swear you in. The board has reviewed all of the information that we got, all of the documents, and it was our decision after that review to deny the petition. You'll get a letter from us that spells out our decision. Both sides do have the right to appeal to the Court of Common Pleas within 30 days of the date of that letter. I'm going to assume for the moment that neither side is going to appeal. And if that proves to be the case, then you would need to follow through with the city in terms of anything that remains to be handled as a result of that matter. I don't have the information right in front of me to know, but if there were any bills that remain to be paid or anything like that, you would need to work with the city to make arrangements.
So the $4,000 bill is off my record?
We denied the petition, which would indicate to me that anything that was still there was still due and owing.
But I don't understand how it's denied when you told me 30 days to bring the paperwork, and I bought it in 3 days as to directly what it was. That PHDC did go in the ground, did do the work, and I bought the whole rundown as to what happened. So, and then you told me to bring it in 30 days. I bought it in 3 days, and I still have it here. So what am I paying the water department for something that PHDC did? Like, what am I paying a 1%? What am I paying a loan for something? It was a mistake, and you told me to correct it. I did correct it.
I do not have that documentation in front of me.
Right here. I bought it in 3 days. You told me, you gave me 30.
And we do have it. I'm sorry, Ms. Stone, we do have it. It's in our file. The board did review it. The board did make a decision to deny the petition. You do have the right of appeal to the Court of Common Pleas. You'll have 30 days from the date of the decision letter that the board will send you.
It's been going on since 2019, and I've been here every time you called me.
We understand that. We're not saying that you weren't, we're not saying you weren't responsive. But your next step would be an appeal to the Court of Common Pleas.
What am I appealing when the work was done by PHDC? I don't understand what I'm coming back for. Like, what am I appealing for? Like, the mistake is right there on the paper. You asked me to bring a 30-day paper in here. I bought it in 3 days. I went and got the paper that I have it here. The PHDC did do the work. So what am I paying a loan for? Like, I don't understand why, like, it's right here in front of us. So what am I paying a loan? Appeal for what? When you gave me 30 days and I did it in 3, and I'm just hearing from you. Well, as far as the paperwork being reviewed. So what am I coming, what is it? Like,
ma'am, it was continued due to a request for the board to review your paperwork. Right. After reviewing your paperwork, they have denied your petition. So if you do not agree with the denial, that is where you have the time to go back and appeal it to the Common Pleas Court.
Well, how long, this is mentally for me now, because how long from 2019 that I've been coming back and forth in here, I got what you asked me to do. So who's Who's checking out the paperwork that is not checked out yet? Then
No, the
brought it in.
paperwork was checked out. You gave us the paperwork. The board
Right.
reviewed the paperwork.
But she told me that when I bring that paper in 30 days, that they would make the decision. So I'm not.
And we
running back
made a
and forth.
decision to
I'm a
deny the
seasoned citizen
petition.
riding Dept up in here. And so I don't understand what I'm going through this for. When the water department didn't do it, and the paperwork is stating they didn't do it. So what do I have to appeal about? What do I have to appeal about when it's on the paper that they did not do it?
Now, can someone speak to her outside of the room to give her?
Yes, because I'm old, I'm tired, and it's not just me, it's a lot of senior citizens, but I'm not be concerned about them, because I thought I was being called in here today for you to tell me to my face that I did the best I could and I did what I was supposed to do, and the paperwork speaks for itself. I did what she told me to do. She said,
We're not
bring it in
saying-
30 days. I bought it in 3. I went
That
and
did
got it,
not,
bought
that
it
did
in
not
3.
guarantee a decision that was going to remove the bill.
Well, so what else are you looking for?
Well, for us, we're not looking for anything.
We
Okay,
made
so
our
somebody's gonna
decision,
talk to you
it's
in the
on the
hallway.
record, and we need to move on.
But I don't understand who makes the decision that I can close the case, because it's done. What do I do?
They're gonna talk to you. Somebody's gonna come meet you in the hallway and talk to you to tell you what to do, man.
Yeah, and it's really sad because somebody needs to say, I'm sorry
Okay,
about
yep.
somebody being put in stuff like this. Well,
Okay,
all the
thank
faces
you
I'm
very much
looking
for
at.
coming in today.
Thank you. They're gonna meet
All
you in
the
the hallway.
faces I'm
Thanks.
looking at. I mean, I think it should be handled better than that for old people. What do I do now? What do I do? Go
Well,
outside?
gather your things and go out in the hall. I don't know who's going to be meeting you, but someone's going to
Okay.
be meeting you to talk with you further.
And so how long else do I have to wait for?
No, you don't have to wait for us. If you,
No, I'm talking about an appeal type thing. So I don't have
oh,
to.
you'll
keep
get a
going through
letter
this.
from us within the next probably 2 weeks. And there'll be information in there about what you do if you want to appeal. It's going to the Court of Common Pleas.
Okay. They called me in here to close the case. They called me in here to reopen the case to keep it moving.
Balance under to pay all of the outstanding balance.
It's paid. This month is paid.
This month is paid.
Yes,
And
there's no back, nothing's late.
That's correct. And
I'm not
I
arguing
would,
with you about that.
sir, if I may finish. I would suggest that there's nothing for the board to discuss because the water revenue account is current and under agreement. He's made an agreement to pay all of the disputed debt. We honored the master's decision to abate 80% of penalty. I can't speak for the water department, but I can tell you that the agency account is at 0.
Yes, and this is Lauren Curry on behalf of the Water Department here to handle the agency case. I would agree. So first, I would also object to going forward on the merits because of the standing issue. My understanding was there was a hearing at the master level on April 5th, 2021. And that hearing was continued to allow the administrator of the estate to get the proper documentation. And it appears that there is no proper documentation at this time. So I would
Yes,
object
it was.
to going forward. And then I do agree the agency bill was already paid. So the agency balance is 0. So I would also agree that there is there shouldn't be anything in dispute here.
Okay, so both water revenue and water department records reflect that all bills have been paid. Nothing is due on this account.
Well, for water revenue, there is still an outstanding balance for the disputed period. However, that balance is under agreement.
Under agreement, and the agreement is current and active. I'm
Yes,
sorry.
he has made every payment. He has been very good about paying, and I salute him for it, to be honest.
Okay, and
So
that
then why are we here?
well,
I'm
that's-
here for the water meter. I paid for a water meter that wasn't broken. That's why I'm here.
Yeah, but do you understand what both city representatives are saying? That the account is in the name of Edna Washington and you are not Edna Washington, and the individual with the power of attorney is also not you as well? Who appeared at those prior hearings?
I did.
So you were able to proceed forward without having a power of attorney at both of the
right.
prior hearings?
No, I think Ms. Curry just said one was continued for documentation.
First of all, You accuse me.
Hold
still-
on, wait. So in this particular tribunal, we are the ones that are adjudicating it. So you will give us a moment. If we're speaking, don't interrupt us. What were you saying, Paula?
I think Ms. Curry said that at least the hearing that had to do with the meter itself back in April of 21 was continued to allow the petitioner to bring in documents related to the estate administration. So I know they did. So I guess answering your question, Dominique, it doesn't sound like they went forward on the other one, but it's been paid anyway.
Okay.
So Mr.
Washington.
Washington, what we're saying is, well, two things. Number one, the important thing is for you to go forward in front of this board, you or whoever it is who has legal authority to represent the property would have to be here. If there's an estate that's been opened, if there are documents from the Register of Wills, if someone is taking title, only that person or those people have the authority.
Excuse me. We bought all the titles and everything down here. We bought everything down here. So if this is not about that, this is about the water meter that you made me pay $300 for. The meter was never broken. That's what I'm arguing about. All the titles and everything was down here.
But before we can hear that argument, the appropriate person that's listed as the owner of the property needs to be here. My guess is Edna Washington is your mother. She's unable to attend. You have a sister that I believe has the appropriate power of attorney.
Yes,
But
you
in
do.
either case, in order for us to proceed forward, either you need to get the power of attorney in order to
Well, then-
represent Edna Washington's home.
well, then
Hold
why
on, I'm
did
not done
you send-
talking. I'm
Well, why-
not done talking.
well,
I'm
why
not
did
done
you send me a
talking.
letter then?
I'm not done
Why did you
talking.
send me to come here?
I'm okay. So if you're gonna keep talking over me, then this is not gonna go anywhere.
You know what, let's, why don't we,
Let's step to the matter.
Nancy, I deny the petition. Because if we're not gonna be listened to and we're not gonna be heard, I'm not gonna listen to this. Now, I am getting very upset. We're talking with respect. We're calm. And if we don't get that again, we will dismiss everything, sir. So allow Ms. Ward to speak. You're gonna get an opportunity to speak. We're not muzzling you, but we can only talk one party at a time. And that is gonna happen. And if for whatever reason you cut someone off again, this will end abruptly and not in your favor.
Dominic,
So,
did you
yeah.
have anything else to say?
We have Gerard Washington here though, but we don't have a power of attorney. Do we have anywhere in our records any type of documentation that states that? Because I understand what the city's argument is, that even if we're able to proceed forward, this is under agreement anyway, and there's no bill. But before we can even adjudicate it, we need to determine if we can actually even hear that much evidence being brought in. So
Only thing that we have is Mr. Washington was the one who signed the first petition. But he is not the power of attorney or the administrator of the state. So just because he is the signature or the representative, named representative. Edna Washington.
Okay. What I'm
Tracy
seeing on
Jordan.
the screen right now indicates there is a,
Tracy Jordan.
That's the, that's
Mandola
the Register of
Mims.
Wills.
Andola Mims.
Mandola Mims.
Mandola Mims is what I was just about to say. That's
Yes,
is the executrix.
yes.
And that was dated November 20th of 2014.
So Ms. Mims would have to be here, or we would have to have some documentation from Ms. Mims granting permission and authority to Mr. Washington.
exactly.
And from what has been said, I think the matter that is being raised of concern was not a matter that was originally presented to the board. And
If
so
I
we have to
may.
have additional documentation.
If I may, the agency matter was for a meter. But as I said, the bill has been paid.
When was it paid, Ms. Curry?
It was paid. looks like August 12th, 2021.
So at this point, the board does not have jurisdiction over any of these matters, it appears.
As far
No,
as
I
city
would-
records
I
are
would agree with
concerned,
you on that.
they've been satisfied.
The meter petition would have to be in a refund posture. And the agreement for water revenue generally takes it out of tax review board jurisdiction based on the language that we generally see. And I assume that that language is in there.
It's a standard basis agreement, and on top of that, it was made with an 80% abatement of penalty, which the master, I believe Mr. Oates actually generously granted, even though Mr. Washington doesn't have standing.
Okay, and that agreement is being held to, so I don't think we have a problem with that. But at this point, I don't see where we would be able to move forward.
I see nothing that would be open and available for further consideration by this board unless someone else on the board or representing the city finds that there is.
So at this time, we're gonna have him withdraw the water revenue case. Correct, Kareem?
If that's how the board wants to read it, as that his signature of the agreement constitutes a withdrawal of the petition, then that's how it can be. That's how we'll have it read. We have no
Well,
objection to that.
Generally do a no action needed.
No action needed
by the
would also
board
be
of this-
acceptable to the city. My apologies, Chairwoman.
Do we need to
Um,
step back for a minute?
Oh, if you want to do that, we can.
I don't know, what does everybody, my fellow board members want to do?
Dominique,
We
George,
can step back if you want, but
I mean, are we
I'm
comfortable
fine with where we're at.
with a no action needed?
No action needed.
Yes,
We don't have any jurisdiction. We don't
Exactly.
no action needed.
So that for both dockets, the decision of the board, Ryan, are you okay with the no action needed?
I'm okay.
Did we lose Ryan?
we may have lost Ryan.
All right, Dominique, are you okay with that?
I concur.
George?
I concur.
Okay, I would do a no action. needed.
And I concur as well. So we should be marking this matter as no further action needed. Are there
Right, and
any
we-
other items for today's agenda?
No, that is it.
Okay, hearing that, unless someone speaks up with something that we're currently unaware of, this hearing is adjourned. Thank you all
Have a
for
good one,
joining
everyone.
us today.
Thank you.
Take care.
Care, everybody.
Bye now.
Real joke.
He's going. Do not record. All right, bring your lady in first. Huh? Right. Have her come.
No, and you want me to log off?
Yeah, we're done. Thanks.
No problem.